episode 10 of the Who's Friend Jimmy podcast. Just kidding. I've never really called it that, but this is my 5-minute speaking challenge. I actually never thought I would get to 10 episodes. It's pretty random. I literally didn't plan this. There was no planning, nothing. Just randomly one day, I got the idea to do it, started doing it, and now it's been 10 episodes, so that's very cool. I know I've wanted to do this kind of recording thing for a while. Even just start building some form of personal brand. I feel like besides the people I know, which I don't like, people I hang out with, which isn't that many, I don't really talk to that many people. So I think it's a pretty cool idea to kind of just talk and document yourself and put it out there to spread who you are to the world. I don't see any negative outcomes. I think all I can see is positives. See, maybe people might like what I say, might like what I'm doing, and people see I'm in a studio and maybe go, I wonder if this guy has any music. And I'll probably start putting my music links in the descriptions or something so people can actually go listen to it. New song coming out on Saturday. I think it's the 19th or something. For this episode, I was thinking about talking about reading. More specifically, this strange journey my reading has gone. I remember being one of the first. This is like random small memory I have in my brain, but I remember being one of like the first kids in the school to start reading, where they were like, "Oh wow, Jem can read." Put him in the first reading group, started reading, and then slowly and gradually, everyone else started joining, and then eventually everyone started overtaking me, and I started to realize that I had some difficulty in reading, and came to not learn, but I started to figure out that I had some form of it's still undiagnosed, but it's obvious, of dyslexia. Like literally I'll write B's and P's the wrong way around. I miss words. I'll read and then I'll go off dazing, and even this is the worst one, is still to this day, when you go through a door and it says pull and push, my brain just doesn't function out. But anyway, so I always struggle with reading and writing and comprehension, and I failed English. I was just bad at reading. I never read the school books, just didn't enjoy it. And then eventually, I don't know why it took so long, but I found audiobooks, and it absolutely changed my life. I've read hours and hours and hours. I call it reading, but it's listening. But it's funny. I say to my brother, like, "Oh, I read this book, but I listened to it." I'm pretty sure some people don't count that as reading, but you can go fuck yourself. So then I really fell in love with reading. I've been I Uber Eats for ages, and the only way I could justify doing such a lame, shitty job was just being able to absorb loads and loads of knowledge. And that's the thing, is I don't read fiction books. I can't read fiction books, so only non-fiction books. And I read anything. Like, my main ones are economics, philosophy, mainly just economics. I love economics books. Like futuristic technology. I love listening to like CEOs and like Peter Thiel and like 0 to 1 and The Sovereign Individual, even like Jeff Bezos books, Richard Branson books. I've read them all. And that, where I was going with the reading was, today at work I I was driving a lot. Like to this site that I had to go to was like an hour and a half drive there and back, and I had an hour to drive to work and back to work. So it was literally like 4 hours that I had the time to read. And so I listened, pretty much I tried listening to a book the whole time. And it actually worked out pretty well, because the book I was reading was about like dopamine and brain chemistry in short time span. And it was a very interesting book, and I'm interested to see what my week will be like after reading this book, the start of this book, because it was talking about some very interesting stuff, which we kind of all know about, we've heard, but just the fact that our phones are giving us such short-term dopamine spikes. And this whole book was just about how to navigate the phone, the way that these short-term videos just spike your dopamine, and then it kind of just drops afterwards. And he was saying how that shitty feeling you get after scrolling for so long is actually your body telling you that this dopamine that you're getting is not moving your life forward in any way. And it's like a funny way of it telling you that there's better ways for you to release that dopamine in your brain. And one of the things, so literally because of this book, usually at work, if I'm in between, if I get in the car for 2 seconds, I'll pick up my phone and go do something, like scroll something. If I go to the toilet, I'll pick up, go scroll something. And the whole day I didn't go on my phone. Even when I got back from work, didn't go on my phone. I did this thing. I put a 15-minute timer on, and I scrolled reels for 15 minutes, which was like exhilarating. And then, so that was it, 15 minutes the whole day. No Instagram, no TikTok, no nothing. It was very interesting. But the 5 minutes is up. But where was I going with that? It was just, it's something I've been dealing with a while. And this book's kind of really given me some better understanding. Okay, what the book was really talking about, or one of the concepts that really resonated with me, was something I've heard on Andrew Huberman before, which when he was talking to David Goggins, which he talks about the anterior some like the brain, something in your brain. And the cool thing about it is it's like a muscle that so what it is when you resist that urge once, you get a little bit stronger, and then you resist it again and it gets a bit stronger, and you resist it again and it gets stronger. It's also, I think what it is it's doing something that your body or your mind doesn't want to do, strengthens it. And it's just like a perfect representation of discipline and doing something hard, but getting a slow release of the dopamine instead of that and a dopamine that's actually like a reward for something good instead of just pressing a button. Just like if you've ever heard of that, the lab test where they just get a rat that presses a button, gives a bit of sugar and presses it, and the rat will stand in the corner, do nothing, and just press it pretty much until it dies. So it was a very interesting book, and I'm thinking I'm going to try maybe this week to just really, really try resist that urge, like first thing in the morning, get on your phone, even if it's to check like how well a piece of content is doing, especially with this YouTube videos. I really like to see in first thing in the morning if any of these videos have got a spike in views or anything like that. And I think the best way to go about it, the guy said even in his video, in the book, he was saying like pick a time like 5 p.m. in the afternoon. And that's the only time you're allowed to go and check like results for your phone, because a lot of the times you would justify checking something on your phone, like content, views, and that kind of thing, as like you keep TikTok because you want to post videos and because it's gonna hopefully like give you some success. And he was saying how that is still a form of quick dopamine, checking those videos. So yeah, I'm really gonna try reduce my short-term dopamine. I've even attempting to, I downloaded Google Books, and I'm gonna try do just maybe instead of scrolling, maybe try read a couple pages of books, or something like that. But yeah, that's the 5 minutes talk today. Thank you.